Hello everybody, this is our usual Friday glove time, so I'm going to show you a few different things. A bit of a comparison in a way, but we actually deal with Campeon, they're friends of ours, as are Casanova. So I'm going to show you what I like about these and bits and pieces of these and compare them to similar models of our gloves. So first of all, we'll go with the Campeon. Now, as you know, if you're a follower of ours, we've sold these for a good few years now. They are an absolute traditional, typical Mexican brand. Old school, high quality, made by the family. These are a 14-ounce traditional Mexican lace-up glove. As you can see, the usual Mexican lumps here for your laces. This is traditional Mexican. The large thumb deflector, traditional Mexican. The flat punch surface, traditional Mexican. Now these are a nice, nothing smells better than Mexican leather, by the way. It's the best leather in the world, I think, for boxing gloves. It smells lovely now when we get a delivery from Mexico, wherever it's from. Now, once I put that on, it's rough and ready and raw inside with a good sweat repellent lining. And traditional Mexicans, with them being thin and flat and wide, there's a lot of room for your hand wrapping inside. The punch surface is not great, but you feel everything you're punching, which is, again, typical Mexican. Nice long laces, as you can see, as usual. A lot of Mexicans use ribbon, which is an old thing as well. Now these are made of grade A quality cowhide leather, what they call aniline leather. Inside, again typically Mexican, is natural latex. That's what they use. They cut it to shape, glue parts on like the thumb and the thumb deflector. As you know with Mexican gloves, if you listen about them, they have a wide flat thumb. It's curved in the correct place and it's attached in the correct place. This is actually the last pair of these we've got in stock. They've not been selling of late. We think maybe going out of fashion type thing, but they are what they are. If you're a Mexican collector or a Mexican, you prefer Mexican gloves, these are standard traditional Mexican lace-up sparring gloves. These are a nice 14-ounce. Now, everyone says about Mexican gloves, they don't weigh what they're supposed to weigh. If we can get these on, we'll see what they weigh. Roughly 14.8 ounces, which for the Mexican glove, everybody expects them to be a couple of ounces over. So that 14-ounce glove, as you can see, 14 ounce, is virtually good. So that's the Campeon glove. Now in comparison to that, we could say our Pro glove, and I can compare the two together. Now this is a 16 ounce. Doesn't really matter, we're just going to do 14s and 16s. Now when you put this modern glove on your hand, you can immediately feel the snug fit. It's not loose and wide. With our gloves we have a memory foam liner, so you can put just as much wrapping on as you can in them and it'll snugly fit the wrapping as well. Obviously more rounded shape, same as the thumb, that's more rounded. We still have the thumb guard, but not as pronounced as the Mexican one. The glove all round is more shaped than the Mexican version. This one, our Pro Sparring, is around the same price range as the Campeon, £100–125, which is, for me, you don't get Mexican gloves around that price at all. So the more modern kind of people prefer this comfortable glove than the basic, rough and ready, typical Mexican glove. Now, everybody knows ours, they're within a few specs of the size, which I insist on, so 16 ounce will maybe 16.1, 16.2 maximum. Now this is the Casanova glove. For me, these are the best Mexican gloves, bar none. I don't care what you think or what anybody else thinks. These are the best traditional Mexican gloves, better than Cleto Ray's, better than anybody else. Some say Nicali are the same glove. The people who actually own the factory don't say that. But as you can see, similar shape, the big thumb deflector. The thumb's not quite as flat, and I'll put the other one on. The thumb's not quite as flat. It's got a bit more shape to it. Bit tight to get on these. They've never been on anybody's hand before, so they are brand spanking new out the packet. Now they've got that lovely massive room inside, and the thumb is got, like I say, it's got a bit more shape to it, so it's a bit more comfortable than that glove. It's a bit thicker. This is a 16, so it is a bit thicker anyway, but they've got that masses of room inside, but they're a bit more supple and softer than the Campeon. It's got the usual traditional 3 lumps for your laces, etc. The big bulbous padding down the sides. It's not as uncomfortable as that one, I'd say, inside, but it's not really uncomfortable, if you get what I mean. It is what it is. It's a Mexican glove. It's a big glove. It's absolutely the best leather you could get. It's got the welted seams on this model, or they do with or without, depending. We've got a couple of pairs of these in stock. This is a 16 ounce, like I say. We can see if we can try and weigh one to see what it weighs. This works out at 18.7, which is what everybody says about Mexican gloves. I think it's this extra padding here that adds that weight to it. So typically Mexican, a couple of ounces overweight, but an absolutely beautiful glove all round, as you can see. They don't do the air holes and things like that. It's just a fighting, sparring glove. What I will say about the Casanova, they come in these lovely little dust bags. They've always done that, which, yeah, I think it just shows the quality when they look after the customers that way. Now, in comparison to those, it's probably RV Shadow range. I would say very, very similar in price range. These are slightly cheaper, but with the high quality leather and the shape and size. Flick this one back on. Where they have the longer cuff, we've got the nice shape to the thumb, similar to this, around the same thickness, and the padding's quite similar as well, although that's natural latex and foam in that one. This is different layers of levels of foam plus a gel pack in the knuckle. So that's, I would say, that's our equivalent. The long cuff, the high quality leather, and the feel. The only difference in this is nicer inside, because it's not got that rough and ready feel on the lining where the Mexican gloves have it. And obviously we haven't got the welted seams on it. We do one, our old school, with the welted seams, but so that's very similar to the Casanova and our lineup. Now, the funny thing is, if you look at both of these together, they're originally off the same pattern. Now, from what I've been told, a long time ago, the guy that owned Casanova, he passed away and the company was left to his sons. His sons had an argument, one left, set up Campeon, one stayed with the Casanova factory. Now, those two sons have since passed away and passed the business on to their children, and funny enough, they're both ladies that own these now. Two sisters still run this one, lovely people. very helpful. We've worked with them for a number of years now, and they've made stuff with our logo on for us, not just gloves, headgear, low blows, mitts, pads, everything, and they'll do it so it's slightly different to our requirements. Not exactly like these, but so it's still traditional Mexican, but with our little improvements on. The lady that runs Casanova, the cousin, she still runs it as it's always been run traditionally. I've heard rumours that the Nakali brand is the same thing. It isn't. I think just one of the relatives have started making them, and they want to be known as Casanovas, but they're not, because I know the lady who owns the company. But if you want Mexican gloves, for me, these are by far better than every other Mexican brand. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say they're a 9. They're beautiful in every way. I'd give them a 10, but they're heavy. Like I say, they're 18.7 ounces for a 16 ounce glove. The Campeon, they are what they are. Proper traditional Mexican glove. I would give them probably a 7. We never get any damaged or any of them ever ripping or anything like that. Sometimes there might be a little fault on one where the thumb tag is 2 centimeters different from the left and the right, or maybe a little scratch on the leather, but that's as far as they ever go. These, I've never seen a bad pair, to be honest. We've never had a fault in any of them over the years we've been doing them. So they're a 9. They're probably a 7. Ours are all 10s. No, they're not. I don't think we're far behind them, but we're not Mexican. These are what I class as a British style glove, an English style glove, or UK style glove. Not necessarily European, because the French and the Italians are slightly different. It's a traditional, modern English glove. I don't think there's any English brands better than ours. I know there isn't. People who come here and they buy our stuff and they compare it, whether they're just trying to flatter me or what, they tell us that these are better. And like I keep saying, if you'd like me to compare it to another brand, send your glove in of that brand. I won't use it or abuse it. I'll look at it, I'll feel it, I'll evaluate it, and I'll compare it to whatever's similar in our range. I'll do it with a headguard even. If you think you've got if your X brand headguard is a good headguard and you think it's better than our Pro Sparring or our V-Shadow headguard, I'll evaluate it together and we'll look at them and I'll point out the differences and I'll tell you where I think ours is better. If you send one in that's better than ours, I'll be honest with you, I'll tell you it's better than ours, but I can't see it. I don't think there's any. And that's just me being, not biased, honest. And like I say, in future we're going to be bringing other boxers in here who use everybody's equipment, and I'll get their opinion just to back up my thing, like we did with Jazza Dickens last week. He's gone away now. He came and tried everything on. He loved how everything feels. He's in sparring camp now and he's using it. So he's going to come back in a few weeks and he'll give his honest opinion as to what, how and why he rates our gloves, where he rates them against, I don't know, Everlast, Reyes, and it'd be whatever he normally uses. He'll tell you and he'll say, yeah, that's better than that because it's this and it feels like this and it performs like that. Well, we've enjoyed this one. Like I say, we don't want to try and do the same thing every week, so different again. We'll be doing more little podcasts with other boxers and stuff. Like I say, this is like a little comparison, but it's a comparison between our gloves and other brands that we actually work with and we know. Give us a thumbs up, like, please subscribe and comment. Tell us what you think, if you've ever tried any of these, or if you've ever tried any of these, what you think of them, and why would you disagree that I say they're similar to them in our way and they're similar to them in our way, and let's discuss it. Goodbye, see you next week.